It's well, I woke up 15 minutes ago at 9:45. As soon as I woke up, they started the bass next door, which I'm trying to capture on audio. It's intentional, it's daily, and it's as soon as you wake up. Hopefully we'll get some of those jokers that changed their motors in their vehicles to make them sound like dying rats. Hopefully we'll get those too. The obnoxious vehicles. Hopefully we'll pick those up too. I made a whole lot of space on my phone. It looks like it's going to be an exposure day. The best that I can tell where they have the boom box is probably on the floor in their large bedroom closet. I'm guessing that's where it's located. It seems to be that's where the noise is coming from. I forgot to turn off the chat, so if anybody's chatting, I'm sorry. I have the phone up against the wall. That was them slamming their toilet. That noise is me. You're right. Here comes the vehicle. You might be able to hear. Hear that? Okay. They're going to start slamming stuff over there. It's my daily life, people. From the time I wake up to 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 the time I wake up. Every day. Every day. This is my life. They turn the bass down a little bit, hoping my phone won't catch it. They turn the volume down a little bit, but it's still going. Or they're changing the track. I'm sitting here in silence, drinking my coffee. Vehicles. You cannot hear, you absolutely cannot hear the traffic inside this house unless they want you to hear it. You cannot. If you hear a vehicle from inside this house, it's intentional. I can show you Friday night rush hour traffic, quiet as a church mouse out there, through my window. My ex, whom I believe is the one slinking around the house, doing all the shit, and the one entering my side of the apartment and doing what they do here, is also an electrician and has hacked his way into my appliances to make them make funny noises. And it's very sad. Even if they were going to try to come here and find him, he could get away because they're able to tunnel underneath the houses. Right. There's a white ranch house next door to me that I know has access to my apartment from tunneling underground. And the apartment adjoined to me has total access to my apartment through trapdoors. The windows and the doors are not needed to enter my apartment. That was ruled out a couple of years ago. Last night they were right above my head in my bedroom, walking around. And he wanted me to know he was up there. And I did. I knew he was up there. The intersection where I live, there's an underground community underneath it. Do I know for a fact? No. But I'm 99% sure about it. I'm 100% sure that they don't need doors and windows to get into my apartment. The walls in the closets slide, and in other areas of the house, the floorboards go down. It's like a labyrinth in here. There's certain walls with certain floors that they can crawl underneath. reach their hand up, do something, and be gone before you even knew what it was. Reach their hand up, grab a couple cigarettes out of my pack in 2 seconds. This is my life. This is my daily life in this apartment. In August, I will be here 7 years. I refuse to move if they're attempting to harass me out. I refuse to move because I have learned throughout my 40 years of targeting that it doesn't matter where I live. This is going to go on. Doesn't matter where I live. I am going to be harassed no matter where I live. I have no incentive to leave this place. It's going to solve their problem, but mine is going to continue. Okay. I have no incentive to leave. I've learned from experience, and I'm applying that experience. And I'm praying all evil demons and spirits out of my living space and the entire structure of this house. And I've been doing that for weeks now. We'll see what God decides. My handler is wearing a silicone fat outfit and is living in an assisted living facility in an attempt to establish an alibi for herself. Because she knows that I've got this whole thing figured out. I am a bit surprised that they had the same people next door that were here when I moved in. I'm a little bit surprised about that. I don't believe my handler expected me to live here as long as I have. I think this was meant to be a temporary place for me. But I turned it into my home and I'm staying. I'm not going to be harassed out through theft, vandalism, or noise. But apparently she thinks I'm gonna. Okay, because she hasn't stopped. My house is located in between two lights. There's a light on the intersection in front of my house, and there's a light in the opposite direction, about 50 feet down at the 390 expressway entrance. Okay. So I live in between an intersection and an expressway, which gives them plausible deniability with the vehicular harassment. The base is still going, but they've got it turned way down at the moment. Now he's playing around with my refrigerator. Here comes the harassment vehicle. They stopped. They know when they're being filmed. And don't forget, people, the very fact that these people can't stand cameras and especially videos is because they have vulnerabilities. That is a very good thing. When the enemy shows you what their vulnerabilities are, that is what you have to play on. They obviously have weak areas. They don't want exposure. Well, that's exactly what they're going to get from me. You have two weapons against them. Okay? Exposure and not reacting. Those are your two weapons against this type of attack. Do not react and record what you can. Throughout my lifelong experience of this, because it has been my entire life. That's the best advice I could give you. Do not react at all and record what you can. And of course, there's God above all. Right? And you pray to God against about your enemies, and read the book of Psalms daily, listen to the book of Psalms, and read the book of Job, and know that you're on the right side of God if this is happening to you. Because the devil does not attack his own. His own are already doing the Satan's work. Okay. Satan wants us isolated because we're children of God, and he doesn't want us talking about God to others. That's why the Apostle John, that wrote the book of Revelation, was banned to an isle called Patmos because he was walking around preaching the Word of God. And back then, they didn't have cell phones to be able to censor you. They banned you to an island. That was how they did censorship back then. And nothing's changed under the sun. God says there's nothing new under the sun. The only thing that changes is technology. That's it. That's it. The only thing that changes throughout the ages is technology. The same evil spirits that were walking the earth when Jesus was walking the earth are the exact same ones that are here today. Demons don't die and they don't reproduce. They're the exact same ones. And they have had thousands of years to perfect their evil craft. Christians have been persecuted forever. This is nothing new. I have Christian friends that are going through this and don't even realize it. There's different stages of this. They're not at the point where I am at yet, but they will be. I have people that are avoiding me for fear that this might happen to them. And it's already happening to them. Now you're about to hear some vehicles because I'm applying my eyebrows with makeup. That's a big one. Again, they know when you're recording and they know when to stop doing their stuff. But eventually I will have a camera going at all times. And I won't have to use my phone anymore. Now they're being silent. Now they just turn the bass back on. I mean, it's a real simple solution to this. You don't want to get caught on audio or video, stop doing what you're doing. Honestly, it's a very simple solution. These people are following orders from a handler. All she's got to do is sit on her fat ass and shout out orders and pay for things to get done. Money talks. Go ahead, asking how she got all the money. By taking out life insurance policies on people and family members before she had them killed. That's where she's getting all her money. And I'm sure that there's one on me too. And unfortunately, there's not a website for you to go to see if somebody took out a life insurance policy on you. There should be, but there isn't. There absolutely should be a way for you to check on that, but there's not. Her own brother and sister faked their deaths for life insurance policies and are actively involved in my harassment. And nobody would be the wiser because they're supposed to be dead. Which is exactly why they did it. She knew I had it figured out because when I was still with my ex, I mentioned something about it to him. So she's well aware that I know it's up. And that I have figured her out. And yeah, it took 50 years to figure her out, but I did. And all glory goes to God on that one. She gave herself away with her own mouth. And the man that she hired to be my honeypot, who is also still in my home, vandalizing it and stealing things through the apartment next door, he gave her away too. several times. Oops. My handler bought a house with a credit card 35 minutes from here for one day. Sold the house after one day, and the sister, who ended up dying 2 weeks later, dying with quotes, brought my handler to an assisted living facility. And then 2 weeks later, mysteriously died. Okay. I don't believe that for a second. And I don't believe for a second that it's really her in that assisted living facility, because these people are using silicone outfits to look like other people. They have them. Okay. They have invisible fabric too. They could be standing in the corner of your house and you wouldn't even know it. Mr. Fabrics and Findings. There we go. There's a perfect example for you. The no muffler, the skipping of the motor, the backfires, the smoke bombs, the intentional annoying downshifting in front of my house. Abnormal traffic. Right. Hey lady, thank you for confirming that I made the right decision in 2013 to walk away from your ass forever. Thanks for confirming my decision. Appreciate you. Can't imagine why I wouldn't want a seat at your table. Oh, but I miss all those ceramic Easter bunnies. Watch. She's gonna have a temper tantrum now. I don't know what to say. She's got herself backed into a corner that she can't get out of. And she did it to herself. And I'm not leaving this apartment because the only thing that's going to do is cause me stress, time, money, and the harassment is going to continue no matter where I live. I'm going to stay right the fuck here. That's alright, I'm going to stay right here. So you just continue being you and I'll continue being me, and one of these days God will decide to take you. And then you will no longer be my problem. TikTok. I'm actually praying that you go to prison so that you might have a chance to get saved. I'm praying that for you, your brother, your sister, and my ex. I'm praying for prison for all four of you. They don't think I have it in me to keep my hands off my phone all day and to just lay here and let it do all the recording, but they seriously underestimate me. There's different phases to this targeting. I know exactly which phase I'm in, and I know exactly which phase others that I know that are being targeted are in that have no idea that they're even being targeted. Including friends and family members. Okay. That's me. They keep screwing with my thermostats, and then they tell the workers that come to my house, tell my landlord that I'm screwing with the thermostat, when it's actually them screwing with the thermostat. I'm on my third thermostat, but it's my fault. Every appliance in this house is being controlled by the harassers. Every electrical outlet is being controlled by the harassers. Everything inside and outside of my home is being controlled by the harassers. Jasper? Some air? My Wi-Fi, which is not on right now because I can't afford it. My phone, which they have total administrative control over. All of my accounts. They've got a couple Facebooks of mine. They've got an Instagram open that I did not open. My bank accounts. Every account. DoorDash. Anything I do online. Temu. DoorDash. Shopping, anything. I'm locked out of my Social Security account. If I try to call Social Security, my phone gets redirected to one of their call centers instead of Social Security. My phone does not belong to me at all. And when I'm texting somebody on my phone, I don't even know if it's really them I'm talking to. It's my daily life. They screw with your orders. My packages are tampered with before they even reach my mailbox. My orders are tampered with online. All of my belongings are vandalized and tampered with or stolen. I've got a closet full of clothes that I have to sew. They have been tampered with. A closet full of clothes. And a whole list of items around here that I have to fix that they have vandalized that can be fixed. The things that can't be fixed go right into the garbage. If I want them bad enough, I will replace them. If not, they're gone forever. I have taken all things out of my yard that could be tampered with. I'm not allowed to have anything beautiful out there, not in the front or the back. Not one candle holder, not one flower. I'm not allowed to have anything out there. If I put anything out there, it gets tampered with, stolen, or demolished. So, since there's nothing outside any longer, now they're going after my trash bins. And my mailbox was laying on its side for a good week, which I'm pretty sure I documented. These people are ruthless, relentless, and they do not stop. And there's always people on your shift 24 hours a day. It's not partial harassment. It's constant harassment, including when you're sleeping. There's always somebody on your shift, all hours of the day. I'll vacuum, and then some asshole will throw shit all over the floor right after I vacuum. It's a daily thing, people. They cut my hair over a year ago. They gave me a mohawk with scissors. So there was about a ½ inch of hair left. And they're maintaining the haircut. They're not allowing the hair to grow back. They've also cut my real eyelashes with scissors. They've cut them right off. They're not allowing those to grow back. And then you'll buy the fake lashes. And I bought a 3-pack not too long ago, and they stole a whole pack right out of my house. My cosmetics are constantly tampered with. My clothes have been removed from the home, altered on somebody's sewing machine, and put back in my home. I could go on and on and on without ever running out of something to talk about. I ordered a pair of zebra gloves off of eBay, and the first ones that showed up, they had sewn the fingers shut so that I couldn't get my hands into the gloves. So I ordered another pair, and that pair was fine for about a week until they decided to put a rip in the side of them. They are sitting in the pile of clothes inside my closet here. Fleece that you can't rip if you tried. Fleece. Okay. In July, they killed my favorite cat in an attempt to get me to commit suicide. That wasn't the only thing that they did. The devil attacks you when you're weak. I was sick at that time. Also, they had killed my air conditioner during the hottest time of the year, which made me agitated. And my washing machine. So I could not keep up with my wash with my sick cat. Right, that was all an attempt to get me to take my own life. The devil comes after you when you're weak. And sometimes the devil will cause that weakness, you to be in that weakened condition so that he can attack you. And that's exactly what happened. Had the air conditioner been running properly and the washing machine been running properly, I may have been able to save my cat's life because I would have been thinking more clearly. But they played on that weakness. And she went after the favorite, which she has done before. Narcissists like to take away things from you that you love. They're going to go after those first. I sold my car a few years ago because they kept tampering with it. Every single night they were tampering with it to the point where it looked like a shark chewed it up, and spit it back out. They were taking my car out for joyrides, using my gas while I was sleeping. And when I was actually driving my own car, they were attempting to cause car accidents constantly. So I finally just sold my car, and now the money I'm saving on gas and car insurance, I'm having my groceries delivered to my home, and I'm using the transit system that they have in my area. Car accidents and car vandalism is a big thing with this harassment. They will always go after your vehicle. Constant car repairs, constant vandalism. It's all about draining your finances and trying to kill you in the car. I've been hit head on twice. I've been T-boned. I've been rear-ended. Walked away without a scratch every time. But I said, enough is enough. I'm taking away one of their toys. And I did. And then they started harassing me on the transit system. So when I use the transit system now, I get punished for selling my car because my handler never expected me to do that. And I took away one of her major toys that she thought I would never get rid of. Because I've had a car my whole life. I have no intentions of buying another car until my handler is no longer on this planet. Don't forget that if you're a Christian, you do have authority over unclean spirits. Jesus gave us that authority. Alright? Listen. There it is. That's the street behind my house that you're hearing. They're getting this all day. So go ahead, act up. Another one. Good. Now, every day I pray to God for protection against me, my animals, and my home. Every day. And every day I pray that God gets these evil spirits out of my life. Because the people that are doing this to me do not realize that they're being inhabited by evil spirits. But they are. The Bible tells us so. And the Bible is my final authority. If God says it, it's real. Okay? That's exactly why they're doing it. They know what they're doing. People have free will. But what they don't know is that they're being manipulated by evil spirits to do the will of Satan. In my opinion, if you're being gang stalked, our perpetrators are more of a victim of this than we are, because we already have our salvation. They don't. They're more of a victim than we are, which is why God tells us to pray for our enemies. Pray that they get delivered from the evil spirits that are indwelling in their bodies, so that they can come to the knowledge of the truth about God and get saved. We are all victims of Satan. Every single living, breathing person on this planet is a victim of Satan in one way or another. I pray for their deliverance and I pray for their salvation while praying for my own protection. Aaron? I'm sure you do. They'll break out with the sirens soon. It's 11:15. That was them. This is what they're getting all day. I will sit here in silence and read my Bible and leave my phone running. This is what they're getting all day. So if they want to do it, they're going to have to get caught on audio. As a matter of fact, I'm going to plug my phone in right now, make sure it doesn't run out of juice. Hear it? Okay. I got better things to do than make up stories. Listen. Plugging in my phone. Now he's screwing with my refrigerator. Hear it? Cider. What you doing, good boy? No. You're a good boy. They think they're going to give me a day, but now I'm going to give them a day today. If they want to do it, they're going to have to get captured on audio. That's the way it's going to be. Now they're in the room above my head, which is my bedroom. doing, Slater? Baby. Who's my baby? Who's my baby? Diane? There you go, boy. Diane? Aaron? Last night my power went out for about a half an hour, and I think that was the quietest half an hour I've ever had in this particular apartment since I've been here. And it's not because it's a noisy area. It's because the noise is being orchestrated by the harassers 24 hours a day. They've got buses in on this, commercial vehicles, tractor trailers, trucks, SUVs, everyday vehicles. And I'm not even positive that that's a real apartment over there. That may just be a staging area made to look like an apartment where people work to harass me. And yes, this does go on. And it's always when you have an adjoining apartment next to yours. If you lived in a single house, single standing house, the situation would be different. So, now, because I'm on remote neural monitoring, my handler knows that she's not scaring me, even though she's intending to. Right. She's been trying to scare me since I was a toddler. Okay. She knows I'm not afraid. But she's definitely trying to intimidate me out of this apartment. That's a given. So much so that she had my Social Security taken away for 6 months, and I almost became homeless because of it. She wants me out of here. She wants me to go and move down the street, find a new place, so that she can start her shenanigans all over again in a new place. It's an attempt to drain your finances and to keep you unstable in life if you're constantly moving around. And it also gets you off the contract of your current harassers and puts you on a new contract with new harassers. There's a lot of reasons. She also knows that I'm aware that there's criminal activity going on in this area that is not just geared toward me. I do believe that there's an underground community underneath all of these homes and businesses on the at the intersection of where I live. If I was to go get up right now and attempt to cross the street to go to the gas station to get something to drink or go over there for any reason at all, they orchestrate the traffic so that you can't cross the street. I've captured that several times. They have control of the street lights. They have control of the traffic. I would be harassed by the bus driver that picked me up. If I was to go to the store right now, they know what I'm going there for. One or two of my items will be off the shelf because it was told to be taken off the shelf so that I can't get it. The store will be flooded with people involved in this to harass me and mob me while I'm in the store. There's no getting away from this. Not moving, not running, not anything. There's no getting away from this harassment. That's it. So again, I tell my handler, I have no reason to move out of this apartment because it's not going to solve my problem, is it? So I'm going to stay right here. And now that the floors and windows are done, I'm going to be painting soon. That's all right. I'm not going anywhere. I would own my own home right now had you not tampered and sabotaged my career. That's all right. I'm staying right here. I have no intention of ever buying a home. I will always rent. That is no longer in my plans. The refrigerator shenanigans have stopped. Now you're gonna hear my hand vacuum. Now I'm going to check my phone and make sure it's still got audio. Now I'm going to glue the nail of the day back onto my hand. Because there's always one. Now I'm going to do my dishes. Okay, so the super glue I just used to glue that nail back on has been tampered with, which is going to cause me to open a new tube of super glue. That's also something that goes on daily. I cannot use acrylic on my nails any longer because both of my nail machines have been broken and all of my acrylic products have been tampered with, and they're very expensive. I also have to throw away every nail polish tube that is in this house because it's been tampered with. There's only one person in this world that doesn't want me to look good, right? And that's my handler. That's why my cosmetics, my nails, my hair, my clothes are all being tampered with. Because she's trying to convince the world that I'm an ugly person. She wants you to believe that I'm an ugly person inside, and she wants the outside of me to be ugly as well. That's called controlling the narrative. When somebody can no longer control you, they will control how others view you. That is what a narcissist does. They will stop at nothing. Some of them even to the point of murder. Depending on how desperate they are to get you. So this tube of super glue I'm attempting to use right now has been tampered with, forcing me to open the second one because I bought a 2-pack, okay? That was done intentionally. Then they'll poke a hole in the super glue tube so that when you go to use it, the super glue gets all over your fingers and not where you want it to go. That's a daily. That's a daily issue. Which they're doing right now. The glue is going all over my fingers. They consider that a win. That's a victory for them. Chances are I won't be able to use this tube of super glue again, even though I just used 1 drop. That's another way that they drain your finances. They hide the dollar store super glue on me in the stores, forcing me to spend more on the same product. That's another way that they drain your finances. I have spent almost $100 on cat food just this week alone. That's another way to drain your finances. They have stolen $30 worth of coffee from me since I got my food stamps on the 2nd. $30, at least, of coffee out of my house. It's all about making you broke and homeless and chasing your tail and spending your money on items you should not have to spend your money on because you already have them in the house. I will put online later how many times I have had to order a 2-pack of glass cleaner from Amazon or Walmart in the past year. That should have lasted me a year, at least. At least a year. Okay. Yeah. I've got proof of all of my purchases and how quickly they're plowing through them. They put ammonia in the cat litter because my house does not smell like cats. even though I have 4 cats. Um, you can't smell a cat in my house at all. But they'll attempt to make it smell that way with ammonia. They harass my animals as well. Now I'm going to make a cup of coffee, and I'm going to make it with my French press because they break all of your appliances, and they broke my Keurig, my second one. They've broken now. So I'm pouring water into a pan to heat it up to use my French press to make coffee. I'm going through a quart of half and half every 2-3 days because of vandalism and theft. A quart. Okay? I use about 3 tablespoons in each cup of coffee. I'm on my 3rd quart of half and half in the past week and a half. I'm not talking pint, I'm talking quart. They steal my stevia, my organic stevia from Wegmans, 200 packets, which should last me a month. They steal that constantly. You hear that? They destroyed all of my butterfly wind chimes that I had out front. And one of my friends who likes to do arts and crafts put them all back together for me and even hand painted them. And they were beautiful, and I had them in the backyard not even a week, and they were destroyed. I had to throw them away. I put a simple dollar store flag out there, and they kept putting roofs on it. So the only thing they have to tamper with out there is throw garbage in my yard and tip over my garbage bins. And, you know, my mailbox whenever they feel like it. That's the only thing that's out there for them to mess with. They will not allow me to have a clean sink. Is that allowed? My handler knows that that's a pet peeve of mine, so she's going after my sink. And that's been like 2-3 years now, the sink. All right. I had a 24-inch TV in my kitchen, which I got rid of a couple years ago because I knew it was being used to monitor me. A few months later, my handler decided she wanted back in my life, sent me flowers on my birthday, which is called a Hoover. I accepted the Hoover because I wanted to see what she was up to. It didn't take long for her to show me what she was up to, because by December 26th, my birthday's on December 9th. By the day after Christmas, we were no longer talking again. But during that time, she gave me 5 $50 gift cards to Walmart in a card because she wanted me to replace that TV that I took off the wall in the kitchen. Because my handler is actually gay and only got married because in 1967 it wasn't cool to come out of the closet. She did what she thought she was supposed to do and what she was expected to do. Okay? She likes watching me at the sink. Started when I was living with her in my teens. Started long before that when I was a toddler. And I just took away another toy away from her. I just took the TV that I bought with those gift cards off the wall in my kitchen. I am now selling it. I'm sure that she can still see me at the sink, but I just took away one of her toys. Obviously, she wanted me to have that in the house, or she wouldn't have shelled out all that money. She knew exactly what I was going to do with it. And that's exactly what the money was intended for me to replace that television. They are not only monitoring our lives, but they're live streaming our harassment on the dark web, and people can pay for subscriptions to watch your life be torn apart. That's another way that they're making money. Okay, so they wreck your life, and then they live stream you running around on the hamster wheel trying to fix what they just did. While they all get entertained and place bets on what your next move is going to be. Oh, there's lots of money being made on this. Lots of money being made on this. I am no longer sexually active with anybody. I never will be again unless I'm married. It's supposed to be a private act, which isn't. And when you know that there's people watching you, it becomes pornography. So I have repented from fornication with God, and I will no longer be sexually active with anyone. I won't even masturbate. So, I'm taking away a whole bunch of their little toys that they used to enjoy, and maybe one of these years they'll get that they're messing with the wrong chick. I do not believe that's my handler in the assisted living facility. I believe it is somebody dressed like her. Same person also claims to have donated her hair to Locks of Love, and I don't believe that either. There's no love in this woman. And that was just a cover because she probably had a wig made out of her own hair in case anybody ever wanted her DNA from a fake person, because they all wear silicone outfits to deceive people. They use baby powder to make it easier to get in and out of these outfits. These outfits can be made to look like the exact person that you're living with. They're very realistic and deceptive, and they've been used on me. And I know someone personally that has seen my doppelganger twice. Okay, so I know there's one of me running around out there too. This isn't government people. This is New Age Mafia. They probably got control of our government. Okay. Yeah. It's not government. The government doesn't give a shit how much lipstick is left in my tube. But these people do. They'll go after my favorite color and empty it out the same day I buy it. That is not government. I know the government's aware of it, but it's not government doing this. That's 57 years of experience speaking. It's not an opinion. That was my cat coming downstairs. What's up, Vixen? Eat your food and shut it. I don't know what to tell you. Eat your food and shut it. I am right here, Vixen. I'm right here. I'm right here, Vixen. Yeah. It's 20 after 12. Here in Rochester, New York, town of Grace. Meow back at ya, Vixen. I know. I have implants in my body through several surgeries I've had in my life. I know that most of you don't believe that implants are needed for this technology, and they may not be any longer, but in my case, I have implants. I've also got implants in both ears, a camera in my left eye for sure, and something was placed in my gum of my front tooth on my left side. If you're curious as to whether or not you have implants or not, you can look above your eyebrow, and if you see a scar that's like a half moon shaped scar, chances are you have an implant in your eye. Same thing behind the ears, a half moon shaped implant scar. It's a little hairline scar. It's not very noticeable, but if you look for it, you'll find it. If you have them. They're placed in your dental work as well. And with those of you with the B2K, I can tell you from personal experience that your tongue and your dental work have something to do with the B2K. Where you rest your tongue makes a difference in your mouth. It gives them access to the B2K somehow. That's something I have personally noticed. Let me know what you think. We're talking about Nazis here, people. Nazis were all about anatomy and how to control the human mind. Nothing's changed. That's why they can make us pee ourselves, shit ourselves, have forced orgasms, manipulate our bodies to do things that it would not normally do. It's through the implants. They're playing you like a remote control. Okay, now it's possible that there's satellites involved in this, but not in my case. All right. Not in my case. But I'm from the older generation. I'm 57, so my handler's going with what she's used to and what works for her. Right. Some of you may be getting harassed by satellites and 5G, but that's not my case. I was told by my handler that my father was not allowed in the room when I was born. That was 1968. I'm curious as to know why that is. Because I'm pretty sure in 1968, fathers were allowed in the room. I can only speculate as to what was going on in there. She's also a witch, a white supremacist, a Nazi, a narcissist, and a psychopath. She's on the highest spectrum of narcissism that there is, which is serial killer realm. Okay? I've studied this condition extensively. I know everything there is to know about narcissism. And I don't say that out of arrogancy. I say I know everything there is to know about narcissism because I studied it exhaustively until I did. I could have a PhD in it. Okay. Once you learn narcissism, or if you decide to study it, you'll understand this criminal activity. You'll understand why they're doing what they're doing and what they're after. And that gives you power. Knowledge is power. Once you know what they're after, you don't have to give it to them. You can decide not to give it to them. And then at the end of the day, they're just wasting time and resources. Not just yours, but theirs too. Everything these people do and say is to get a reaction out of you. And they're going by past experiences and monitoring you for decades as to what they believe that response is going to be, that reaction is going to be. And when you study narcissism and you're like, aha, that's what they're after. Oh, and I've been giving it to them for decades, but I'm not going to do it anymore. You change the entire playbook of this game. Right? Because after a while, they're just chasing their tail, trying to get the same reaction out of you that they used to get when you were not educated in narcissism. It is my number one suggestion to all of you going through this. Study narcissism, because that is what we are up against. Right? That is what we are up against. These people are their own breed. Right? There's only 2 races in the world. Right? The regular human race and the narcissists. You want to talk about racism? It has nothing to do with skin color. It has to do with the heart. These people might be able to read your mind, but God can read your heart. He reads hearts. And that's why I say these people are more of a victim than we are. Because this is an attack by Satan on the Christians. Right? You might be an atheist going through this, but you're not always going to be an atheist. Satan knows that you're going to get saved eventually. This is an attack on the Christians. Okay. This is Satan's way of going after the Christians. And the reason I say that the perpetrators are more of a victim is because Satan is using them like pawns in a chess game to get to us. And in doing so, they're inhabiting their bodies because they're not saved. They're manipulating them to do evil things. And they're possibly keeping them from their own salvation. Okay? This is why God tells us to pray for our enemies. Okay? Not because we love them, not because we like what they're doing. Okay? God tells us to pray for our enemies so that they can get delivered from these evil spirits and get their salvation before it's too late. Okay, we're all victims of Satan. They're more victims than we are. Even though we are the oppressed, they're more victims than we are because they're possessed. Okay? God says Satan blinds the eyes and hardens the hearts so that people will not come to the knowledge of the truth about God. And that is what he is doing with these people that are oppressing you every day. He's keeping them from their salvation. And that's the main thing that you need to get out of this lifetime, this short little 80-year-old lifetime that we spend on this earth. That is the number one most important goal for you to achieve in this life, is your salvation. Not what you want, not stardom, not fame, not cars, not houses, not money. It's God. You have to accept the sacrifice that God did for you as payment for your sin. Otherwise, you're going to pay for your own sin in hell for eternity if you don't accept it. And the people that are doing this to us are blinded to the truth. They're blinded. Some of them have several demons in them. God tells us all about demonic possession in the Bible. When one leaves, a man, it comes back, finds the house clean and swept, and brings 7 more demons, even worse than him, back with him. Mary Magdalene had 7 devils inside of her. Right. Jesus released her from all of them. She's in heaven with him right now. Okay, 7 devils. Right. There's only one sin that God will not forgive you for, and that's blasphemy of the Holy Spirit. Satan wants everyone to believe that you have sinned so much that you are beyond redemption. He also wants you to believe that God is religion because he makes religion look like a circus. You got all these different buildings all over with all these different gods they're praying to, with all these different rules you have to follow, with all these different things you have to do to get into heaven. You know what that is? That's Satan's way of tricking you that you can get into heaven by doing something. When there's really only one way to get there. Because God paid for your sin. You have to accept God's payment for your sin, and you have to trust that what he did is covering your sin. Okay? That's the only way to heaven. But Satan has turned religion into a circus. And the children of today are not even being told about God from their parents. We are living in a generation where children are not even being told about Jesus. You ask Alexa who Jesus is, and Alexa will tell you that he's a fictional character. I've done it. I don't know what it says now or if they've changed it, but when I asked somebody's Alexa who Jesus was, she told me he was a fictional character. Blasphemy. We have to pray for our enemies. We have to pray for protection over ourselves and trust in God with all our heart and all our soul and all our mind, and he will direct our paths. But we have to pray for our enemies because they need deliverance from these demons so they can see the truth about spiritual warfare and what's going on, and that they're playing Russian roulette with their eternity. Okay? Nobody's guaranteed tomorrow. Nobody's guaranteed tonight. You understand? You could drop dead right now. And then you're going to be stuck in hell for eternity. Do you understand? You have until you take your last breath to make a decision. Are you going to take the get out of jail free card out of Jesus' hand? Or are you going to continue serving the wrong master at the pleasure of this short amount of time you have on this planet? One of my favorite verses, it's in Hebrews. Choosing rather to suffer the afflictions of the people of God than to enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season. And that's exactly what's going on. You people think that this is all there is. And that you got to have all your fun now. And this is it. No, this is not it. This is your audition for it. Okay? You're either going to the island or you ain't. Alright? All you that like those talent shows, you're in a real live reality talent show. You're auditioning for your eternity. And sorely, a lot of you are failing. We're not to hate the people that are doing this to us. We're to hate the sin. We're to hate the evil spirits that are making them do it. It is not God's will that any should perish. Satan is the prince and the power of the air of this world that we live in. Everything you hear, see, smell, touch, taste, interact with, Satan's got his hands in. And it's all to change the narrative of how you believe and what you believe, so that you will believe a lie, so that you will be damned along with him. He doesn't want to burn by himself, and it's his last dig at God to say, screw you, I'm going to take some of your creation with me, and you can watch them burn for eternity right alongside me. That's classic narcissist for you, having the last word. The need to have the last word. Classic narcissist. Lucifer was the first narcissist. Started with pride. He was the angel filled with all the gemstones, all the beautiful gemstones. He was the most beautiful angel. He also had music inside of him, and his wings used to cover the throne of God. And it started with pride. He was the first narcissist. It always starts with pride. I will, I will, I will. I will be above God. I will be like the Most High. I will this. I will that. That's how it started. Then, in the Garden of Eden, he was telling lies to Eve and Adam and making them doubt God's word. Okay? He's still doing that today. Making you doubt God's word. There's nothing new under the sun. Their own kids were the first murder. Cain killed Abel. There's nothing new under the sun. Nothing. God tells us there is nothing new under the sun. Okay, so this criminal activity has always existed. The only thing that changes is technology. That's it. Technology makes these evil schemes easier for them to get away with. Well, now they're going to have to deal with our technology because everybody's walking around with a camera on their hand now. Don't we? We all have access to a video camera at all times. And these people do not like exposure. So I say expose. That's their vulnerability. Exposure. because they're criminal magicians and they're gonna get caught on video somewhere. You always catch something and they don't like it. They want to do it, but they don't want to get caught at it. They're like children. That's what narcissists are. They're all like 7-year-old mentality in 70-year-old bodies. Mine, mine, mine. That's mine. Everything's mine. You don't do what I want, I'm going to punish you. That's how they think. They're jealous of you. Jealousy was the reason that I got targeted. I wasn't allowed to be daddy's girl. Little girl. I wasn't allowed. He wasn't allowed, and neither was I. I'm not going to get into the intricacies of that right now. My father was a good man. He worked his ass off his whole life to provide for his family and try to make his wife happy. I watched throughout my entire life him doing that. But you cannot make a narcissist happy. And he did not have a wife. He was a slave. So were his guns. And that's what Nazis have. They have slaves. And these people doing this to us, even though they're getting gift cards and rent paid and cars paid, they're slaves. They're slaves to Satan. They just don't know it. Or care. Here, let me get that up again. See what I'm saying? Here I am vacuuming up what I already had up. It does not stop. Okay. All right. Let that charge. It's a possibility that my family is involved in Freemasonry. It is a possibility. I know that my handler is a witch. I know that she's a Nazi and she's into the occult. I also know that she's a white supremacist. I wasn't allowed to go to the Prince concert back in the 80s, and the picture I had of him on my wall was torn down when I was living with her. And there have been other instances in my life that point to white supremacy with her. I'm not a racist person at all. I look at the character of someone. I don't look at their color of their skin. I look to their soul, which is what we should all be doing. that's the makeup car because I just started fixing my makeup from last night. My handler does not like it when I'm doing my makeup, and that is when she makes the majority of her noise. But it doesn't matter what I'm doing in the house. If I'm active in the house, the noise harassment is more active outside. Which is what gave away the cameras. My handler told a family member that when I was 15, I ran away and went downtown. No, I didn't. That never happened. The only time I ever ran away was to go live at the same person's house. Never downtown. Where I was during that time, I have no idea, but I wasn't downtown. I may have been in the attic. Now I'm digging in my purse, so the noise outside is going to get louder. She does not like me doing my makeup. She's got the spirit of Jezebel in her. That's definitely one of her demons. there's no way that that's my handler in that assisted living facility, sitting there staring out a window, pretending not to know who she is. She is very well in charge of what's going on right now in my life, because I know her like the back of my hand, and I know that the orders are coming from her. I've had my eye on her my entire life, since I was 4, when my baby brother fell into a swimming pool, and I stood there and watched her decide whether or not she was going to jump in and save his life. I've had my eye on her ever since. I know how she thinks. I know what her motives are about everything that she does. Your cars? That's because my makeup's coming out good. No, that's the truth. Sad as it sounds. So jealous she is of me. That's why she tampers with my cosmetics, my hair, my nails, and my clothes. Okay. The government doesn't give a shit about those things. She does. This life situation is a good way to humble yourselves before God, which is what God wants for us. He wants us to humble ourselves. And all the things that these people do to you, it makes you humble yourself. You don't, most of you probably don't feel the same way about material things as you used to, right? You realize that's not what's important. That's why God's allowing this to happen to you. To teach you those lessons. If I had gotten everything I wanted out of life, I would have my eye on the world and I would not have my eye on God. I know that for a fact. I would have made 6 figures a year doing what I was going to do. I praise God that my career was sabotaged by these people. And God knows I'm telling the truth about that. I'm not saying it for lip service. Okay. I consider it a blessing that my career was sabotaged. Everything that the enemy intends for evil against you, God turns into good. He tells you that. And it's true. It's 100% true. What the enemy meant for evil, God turned into good. Or will turn into good. And he'll do it right in front of your enemies. He'll do it right in front of your enemies. Okay, now I'm putting my eyelashes on. since I'm not allowed to have my own. You know. And now we're gonna go with the dog. Listen up, much as you can. You're only going to do so much while I'm filming. As soon as I turn that off, they'll be gung ho. Alright? It's just the way of it. goes the French. Hear it? That's disapproval that I'm doing my makeup. That's what that is. I do not approve. You're 57 years old and you're grounded. This is how seriously messed up she is in the head. Alright. 78 years old. It is what it is, people. I'm not keeping my mouth shut any longer. Waiting for her to take me out too. No, not gonna happen. Hear all the interference? That's because I'm doing my eyebrows. She's that seriously mentally ill. It's very sad. She always had a thing about my eyebrows. I will interact with the chat as long as it's respectful and I don't believe you're a perp. If I believe you're a perp, I will ignore you. So don't even waste your time. I'll figure out where to put the camera in a minute. Went upstairs to do the cat litter. That was the door falling off of the cat litter house, which they broke off. But they had enough toilet paper just now because they steal that too. Oh, we have another nail of the day. Thumbnail. Alright, let's get that put back on. gist of what my day looks like. Oh, that's good. Awesome. Okay, let's put that on. Back on. All right, good. See these people? They want to make a loser out of you. Okay, that's why they slander your name and tell people not to hire you and tell people to fire you and tell people all sorts of bullshit about you. That's not true. Okay. But I am going to start live streaming my life and explaining to you all the shit that these people do. And I'm going to make a loser out of them. And I'm going to do it publicly. And until I get a body camera where it will be on me at all times and I can explain to you everything in real time as it's happening, I'll just use my phone. You want to see it, Tannen? If my life's going to be a live reality show, it's going to be a live reality show. And I'm going to show people what's really going on. Later, I'll take you upstairs and show you the holes that they put in my brand new towel. That was made so well, it would probably withstand a nuclear holocaust. Not to mention the entire, my entire set of bath towels that I just bought 2 years ago were stolen. And the ones that they left me were tampered with and bleached and holes put in. Same thing with my kitchen towels. They have a thing for stealing my towels. It's a constant thing. They like to wreck my rugs too. And my blankets. They like to wreck everything I own. There's a flaw in just about everything I own. Because if they don't steal it and they don't completely break it, they put an intentional flaw so that I always know that they're here. They want you to know. They want you to know. Now where can I put this phone? Let's see. Let's chat all day. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. What do we want to do? I'm hanging out in the kitchen. I have sciatica, so I'm doing physical therapy on the floor. So, what's that? I'll read some of the chats in a minute. See how quiet everything gets when you know they're being recorded? I wonder what they're going to do when I'm constantly doing this. Somebody's going to be out of a job. Yeah, if you're wondering why I'm a Christian and I smoke pot and cigarettes, I will tell you. I don't feel convicted by God to quit either one of them. He created both of those plants, and tobacco has good effects on your body. And God also made a marijuana plant. And we all have THC receptors inside ourselves, which God placed there, so he obviously wanted us to consume it. Now, whether he wanted us to consume it by smoking, that's up between me and God. But I don't feel convicted into quitting either one of them right now. And it's the only thing I do. And I don't consider it a drug. Pot has never killed anybody. It has actually saved lives, and it's non-addictive. That's my take on it. Doesn't mean I'm right. Go by your own convictions. I'm not convicted by God to quit either one of those things right now. I know my handler wants me to quit them. I know that inhaling interferes with the remote neural monitoring. I know that. It's a lifetime of experience speaking, people. Listen up. I wish I was making it up. I wish I could sell my story to Stephen King, but I can't because he only writes fiction. So I got 4 likes and 0 views. Okay, so I'm talking to myself. Or this isn't being broadcasted out. All right. Of course. I have to get into my YouTube and gain authority over it. Somehow. Come here, you want to say hi to the camera? Slater. Come here. Slater. Come here, Slater. This is my huge gray cat. He sleeps 23 hours a day. Slater, come here. This is my big gray panther. Slater, come here. Slater. Come here. Say hi to the camera. Come here. Slater. Slater. Slater, come here. I don't think you can see I'm sitting on that table right there. Oh, you can. There he is. Don't know you, sorry. Slater, come here. Come closer. Oh, here's Cosmo. It's my blue-eyed Siamese. Come here. Show everybody how beautiful you are. Show everybody how beautiful you are. When he's done eating. Oh, here comes Slater. Come here, Slater. Here's Slater. Come here. Come here, Slater. Come here. Over here. There's Slater. Don't knock that off. Slater, come here. Come here. Over here. Slater, come here. Good. How big this cat is. I love you. Say hi to the camera, Slater. Say hi to the camera. Look. Look. So hard to get cats on film. They just know. They're like, screw you. I ain't performing for you. Come here. Don't you? Smarty pants. Don't you, smarty pants? I bet that's exactly what you think. He looks pissed. He's one of those cats where you can see his emotions right in his eyes. He looks really mad right now. Like he knows I'm talking about him. Do you know that I'm talking about you, Slater? Cosmo, come say hi. Cosmo, come here. Cosmo. He does this stretch thing. I call it the Cosmo stretch. And all my cats started doing it after he started doing it. Because they copy each other. The Cosmo stretch. He does that whenever he's leaving a room or entering a room. Or approaching me. So he's doing it right now. I don't think you saw it though. Come here. So I'm like, bow to the queen. And he's like, come here. These videos that I'm doing are serving a lot of purposes. I'm exposing the criminal activity, whatever I can catch on audio while I'm doing it. And this also proves to society that I'm not crazy like people think. Or whatever you're being told. Some of you may be being told that I'm racist. I've had a few instances in my life that suggest that that is the rumor that's going around. I'm not racist at all. I agree with Martin Luther King. Judge people by the content of their character, not the color of their skin. That's exactly how I feel. I've always been that way. But when I was working somewhere, I had a job at a cable company, a local cable company. I was brought into the office face to face with a girl I'd never met, never seen in my life. Okay. Accused of being racist or saying something racist. Never saw her in my life. And not too long ago, I got a ride home from this guy at the store. I asked him for a ride, and he was black, and he asked me, "Would you ever date a black man?" And I told him, "Yeah, I would. I never have, but I would." Yeah. So I'm not racist, if that is the rumor going on around. My family may be, but I'm not. And I'm not accusing my family of being. I'm just saying I'm not. Right. I have had family members that were like that. I do believe my handler is that way, for reasons I told you earlier. But I do believe my handler is a white supremacist. I have reasons to believe that. So that could be one of my smear campaigns out there, is that I'm a racist person, and I'm not at all. I look into people's souls. You know, I can tell when people are, for the most part, I can tell when people are pretending to be someone that they're not. I mean, not always. My ex had me for a while, but it won't happen again. You live and learn. I bought catnip bubbles. I wonder if they'll play with them. Let's see. Look what I got. The smear campaign, people. It's a big part of this. If they can control what others think about you, those people are easier to control. Okay? That's the way it is. Look, Slater. Catnip bubbles. Look. Wow, they're sticking everywhere. I wonder if that's going to do anything with the floor. I'll have to see. Because I don't want to do anything. Well, you can get anything off these bars. But... wow, they're still there. The bubbles are still there. Wait. Look at. Isn't that funny? Watch them with this one. Look. Look how long they're lasting. Look at. They're still there. Are these real bubbles? I don't get it. Never saw bubbles last that long. There's my Cosmo. Hey, look at the camera. Let everybody see those beautiful blue eyes of yours. Come on. Slater. Cosmo. Slater. Slater's got green eyes. Not bright, but look at that bubble. It's still there. That one too. Look at that. That's craziness. I wonder if these things are even safe for my cats. I'm gonna have to look at the ingredients. Look at it. There you are. I got your blue eyes. I got your blue eyes. I got your blue eyes. Slater. See? Green. Cosmo. 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 Look at the camera. Look at my blue-eyed baby. Good boy. Look at this one. Swatting at him. Want some more bubbles? Okay. Let's take a look. These are weirdo bubbles, people. I've never seen bubbles last this long. First one on my blanket. What one I? Look at those bubbles. Look at them staring at it. I'm gonna get one of those bubbles. I'm gonna get one. I'm gonna get that one right there. I'm gonna get that bubble. It's a cluster bubble. I'm gonna get it right now. I'm gonna get that bubble. They're all gone. See, busy inside, busy outside. Hear it? These are things I have to point out too. Okay. Get him, Slater. Get it. Get the bubbles. Get the bubbles. Cosmo. Cosmo. Get the bubbles. Get the bubbles. They're rainbow bubbles. Rainbow bubbles. My favorite bubbles. I don't know, these things are starting to look more like a science project. Look at it. They're still there. That's weird. Yes, I know that they have uh, patents on telepathy and that it's being used on me. Yes, I'm aware of that. If you're still in here. They actually have patents on it. Bless you, Slider. Bless you, Slater. Now they're going to make me close this and start over. Because they won't let me turn off the green screen. Yeah. I'm going to have to stop this live video and start over.